Hi, second graders. I am so excited to be learning with you today. Today is Tuesday, April 7th, 2020. We are on day 5 of our math packet. This today will help you think about the resources that you can use to help solve some of your money problems. And also, we're going to review graphing so that you have an understanding of that as we move forward into second grade material. Let's get started. We're going to start with a review problem. It should be pretty simple. 180 plus blank equals 200 plus 10. Let's start with the side that we know. We know that 200 plus 10 is going to be 210. Pretty simple. We have 200, we add 110. So we get 210. Let's take a look at 180 now. How many tens is 180 away from 200? It's 2 tens away. 180 plus 2 tens, or 20, is 200. Good job. Excuse Miss White's sloppy writing. How far is 200 away from 210? 10. So how much did we add to 180 to get to 210? Well, first we added 20, then we added 10. 20 plus 10 is 30. So our answer is 180 plus 30 equals 200 plus 10. Second graders, if your brain worked in a different way than my brain did, that's okay. In fact, the differences make us even stronger. My goal for you today is to be able to make sure that you are thinking the best way that you can. If you thought of it a different way, no big deal, as long as you still got the answer 30. If you got a different answer and used a different strategy, try my strategy first to see if that will help you. Good work. Let's do some fluency practice. We're going to start by skip counting by fives. Let's go to 200. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Not done yet. 105, 110, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 155, 160, 165, 170, 175, 180, 185, 190, 195, 200. Good job. Let's get to 200 by skip counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. Notice the pattern. Good job. Now let's skip count by 25s. 25, 50, 75, 100. 125, 150, 100, 75, 200. Can you predict what comes next? 225. Good work, friends. This will come in handy when we are counting with money in a little bit. Let's review our graphs. Miss W went on a hike. She saw 4 frogs and 3 birds and some snakes. Which is her graph? Let's start with that problem first. If she saw 4 frogs, let's look at each graph to find out if we have 4 frogs. I see frogs comes first in all of my graphs. Since that is true, we can determine how many frogs there are by looking at the green bar. In A, there are 1, 2, 3 frogs. So A would not be correct. Let's try B. 1, 2, 3, 4 frogs. Ooh, that was a curvy line, but you see what I'm doing. B could be correct. What about C? 1, 2. Oh, nope, C is incorrect. Adjust this. And let's try for D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we see that our best 2 answers so far are B and D. Let's take a look at the next part of the problem. She saw 3 birds. So now I need to see how many birds I have in B and D. Uh-oh, I only have 1 bird in B. What about in D? 1, 2, 3. Oh, so my best answer is D. Let's take a look at the second part of the problem now. I'm going to erase while we do that. How many more frogs did she see than snakes? We're only working with the D graph, and that's because we already know that that shows how many snakes that Miss W saw. So, how many snakes did she see? She saw 1, 2 snakes. And how many frogs did she see? 4 frogs. How will we get from 2 to 4? Let's count the loops. 1, 2. So she saw 2 more frogs than snakes. Great work, friends. I'm very proud of you. Let's get into today's learning. This is tricky, and I want you to try your very hardest. Remember that we are reviewing money. A penny equals 1 cent. So 100 pennies equals $1. A nickel equals 5 cents. So 25 nickels equals $1. A dime equals 10 cents. So 10 dimes equals $1. And a quarter equals 25 cents. So 4 quarters equals $1. You can always come back to this screen, and you also have a similar looking anchor chart in your work packet that will help you solve these problems as we go forward. Remember that coins have a front and a back, and so it's important to recognize the size more than anything else. A penny is 1, a nickel is 5, a dime is 10 cents, and a quarter is 25 cents. Let's use this anchor chart to help us solve the next problem. Oops, I went the wrong way. What is the total value of coins? Let's take a look at the first 3 coins. What coin is this? If you're not sure, use your anchor chart or rewind a little bit. It is a nickel. How much is a nickel worth? A nickel is worth 5 cents. All right, let's skip count by 5s. 5, 10, 15. So this is worth 15, and then here's our tricky cent sign. You might recall, cents. Good work. The next one's going to be even easier. What is this coin? We know it's not a nickel. It looks different than a nickel. We know it's not a penny. A penny is a different size and shape. This is a dime. And how much is a dime worth? A dime is worth 10 cents. So now we will skip count by 10. Let's do it. 10, 20, 30. These 3 dimes equal 30 cents. Good work. All right, last one for this. What is this, the largest coin? What is that worth? The largest coin on this page. It's called a quarter, and it is worth 25 cents. Now, we know that skip counting with 25s can be challenging. If you need a review, you can rewind and go back to our fluency page. You've already done this once before. Here, we'll do 25. 25 plus 25 is 50. Plus 25 is 75. So 3 quarters equals 75 cents. Friends, this is challenging. It will take time to remember, but I know that with your skip counting abilities, you can do this. Let's challenge ourselves with the next slide. Here, we have coins all in a jumble. This makes it challenging to count coins, as we learned last week when we were trying. So now we're going to organize our coins to help us think through how best to count them. I see that I have a few quarters, a few dimes, and a few nickels. I'm going to use different colors to indicate which one is which. So for a nickel, that's worth 5 cents. So I would put the nickels together. And then I would do 5 plus 5. Easy peasy. Now I want to put the dimes together. I'll do green for the dimes. 1 dime, 2 dimes, 3 dimes, 4 dimes. So now I would do repeated addition. 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. Don't worry about solving this yet because I'm going to show you how we can figure it out. Now let's do blue for quarters. 1, 2, 3. Oh, just like in the previous problem. 25 plus 25 plus 25. Good work. Now, this is a lot of math, isn't it? Let's reduce our math and start by skip counting. We'll start with the lowest value. So we'll start with 5s. I'll use pink to count. 5, 10. Now I'll start skip counting by 10s. Already have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right, here's where it gets tricky. 50 plus 25 is 75. 75 plus 25 is $1. $1 plus 25 is $1.25. So our total, we'll use the dollar symbol since we have one whole dollar or 100 cents, is $1.25. If it is easier for you to add, you could do that. If it's easier for you to skip count, you can do that. Do what makes the most sense for your brain. As long as you get $1.25, you have solved the problem. All right. The last thing that we're going to do today is combine the two things that we worked on today. We are going to find out the value of some money, and then we're going to use a graph to match the value with the graph. Let's take a look. We need to decide which graph matches the coins. Okay, let's start with quarters, just like it says to do on the first graph. Quarters. Quarters. Find the quarters with the money. How many quarters do we have over here? We have 1, 2, 3 quarters. Let's check our graph. 1, 2. Oh, is A going to be the graph that works for us? No. So right away we can cross it off. That doesn't mean that we should just automatically pick B. We want to always check our work. Let's see if we have 3 quarters. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that crooked line. Do we have 3/4? Yes. So far, B is the best answer. Let's look for the dimes. How many dimes do we have in our coins? We have 4 dimes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make sure that our graph is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it? Yes, it is. Good work. All right, last stop. Let's do nickels. Remember, a nickel is worth 5 cents. How many nickels do we have? We have 2 nickels. Let's make sure. 1, 2. Oh no. Is this graph correct? It is not correct. Second graders, how many does it say that this has? It says it has 3. Here is my challenge for you today. So sneaky, Miss White. Will you fix this graph to make sure that it has the same number of nickels that we have over here? Once you do that, go ahead and take a picture of it and send it to me or your homeroom teacher, okay? I want to see you graphing. This is a challenge, but I know you can do it. The quarters and dimes part is already correct. The only thing that you need to fix is the nickels part. Once you send me that picture, I'm going to put it in tomorrow's math slides so we can check it. I'm really proud of you for all the hard work you did today. Make sure that you're doing application problems for today's date, April 7th. If you have any questions, contact your teacher. Great work, my friends.